Hi there, November is Tradie Mistake Month, and today is Tradie Mistake number 1, failing to show up. It's quite common that people, customers, particularly consumers, but not only consumers, trade related and corporate and business people too, try and arrange a quote in particular from a trade, and the tradesperson says they're going to show and then doesn't. Or they order 2 or 3, or they arrange 2 or 3 quote meetings and they don't all show. I heard this story from a friend, right? She was doing a bathroom renovation. She needed a painter and a plumber. She was spending about $7,000, right? So no one's getting rich off this. But you know, bread and butter work, I would imagine, for some people. She called a painter, he didn't show up. So she took half a day off work, twiddled her thumbs waiting for this guy, and had to start again. Called a second painter, he showed up a bit late, but he got the work because she was, wanting to get this shit done by now. She called 3 plumbers who failed to show up to do the work. The 4th guy showed up, was awarded the contract, and then he vanished into thin air, poof, like a genie, gone. Didn't answer his phone calls, was nowhere to be seen, didn't return his emails. So of course she got frustrated, got impatient, called another plumber who came for the quote, was awarded the contract, did the work, happy days. And then the first plumber, or the 4th plumber, came back from his holiday and had the nerve to have the shits because she'd given the work to somebody else, even though he'd gone on holiday for 3 weeks and not bothered telling her. So that's quite a sad little story if you ask me. On many fronts. And what's the lesson? Well, I think there are 3 lessons today. Right, this stuff's not unusual, right? I said it was common. I hear this all the time. You know, you're in the trades business. I'm sure you hear it all the time. It's kind of common knowledge, right? And I guess, if you're really honest with yourself, you or your business has done it once or twice too. We're mostly guilty, all of us, of the things I talk about, I think. So it's reasonably common. And if you can not do that, if you can show up every time, if you can put the systems and the structure into your business so that you don't fall prey to this failing, this mistake, then you're at an advantage, I think, over your competition. From my perspective, remember, I'm a business coach who helps people grow and scale and who helps people put systems and structure in place. I believe this is an investment that's worth doing. Right? You'll get customers more easily and you'll compare well to the other guys, and your customers will give you their business more readily and perhaps at a higher price because you're more reliable, which is what they want, right? And I've said this a million times, I think it's not just about the price. This stuff is very important too. So it's an investment that's worth making. Point 2. One of the differences between the very small guys, the one-man bands, and the rather bigger or slightly bigger businesses with structure and with systems, and remember that's what I'm going to try and help you do if I'm your coach. One of the differences between those is that small guys are cheaper and they come with these frustrations a bit. If there's just one guy, he's more likely to not have the systems, not have the structure, and not have other people helping him, and he's more likely, or she, to make these mistakes and be unreliable and not show up. It kind of goes with the territory of working on your own, being the only guy. Whereas if there's a few of you, you've got a receptionist, even if it's, a virtual one or an outsourced one, you're less likely to make these mistakes. You're more likely to have your scheduling sorted out, particularly if you work with me, because if you work with me, you will have your scheduling sorted out because that's what we'll do. So you, as a slightly bigger, more structured and systematized customer, can charge a bit more than those guys who have to be cheaper because the service isn't quite so good. Okay, so you have an advantage and you can charge a bit more. And the third one is the guys or the businesses that didn't show up wasted all that marketing money. They spent money, right? They built a website and paid for Google ads or did SEO, or they put an ad in the paper, or they put signage on their vehicle, or they put energy and effort into building a reputation in their area and they got referred when somebody asked. They did all that work and then somebody booked a call and they didn't show up. I was going to say didn't bother to show up, but I don't think that's how it is, right? They didn't show up because something else got in the way and it kind of didn't work out. And I'll come back to that thought in another video. But they wasted all that marketing money or marketing effort by failing to show up and take advantage of the business opportunity. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's silly, right? Put systems in place into your business so that you spend money on leads and you give yourself the maximum chance of winning the business and doing the work that feeds you and feeds the people who work for you. Please. All right? Doing this stuff, being diligent, being systematic, being process driven is part of how you grow successfully. And what you do, of course, is you use a job management or a project management tool or a package, Tradie, one of those things, to help you and to help you put structure in place and to help you manage your time and your people. Set rules and document things. Very important, right? Write stuff down. Write stuff down is the first rule, isn't it? So you don't forget. Don't joggle your mobile when you're on a job. Right? As you grow, hire people to do that stuff for you. You know, as I've said before, it's cheaper than you think. It's more accessible than you might imagine. You don't have to go and spend $40,000 to hire a full-time person. There are other solutions. So you can do this without it being as prohibitive and as terrifying as you might otherwise imagine. This stuff's not very hard. It takes a decision. It takes a bit of discipline and a bit of commitment. I can help. That's what I do. So please do it. You know, if you're not ready for coaching, it's fine. Come to one of my workshops, learn a bit, take some action that will make your life better and that will make your business better and your customers happy. Right, I can help. Like I said, if you think you might want me to help, you think you want to explore that, book a 10-minute chat. There's no risk involved. We'll have a quick chat. We'll see if we like each other. If we think I can help you and we think we like each other and I think you're coachable, we'll do a full 1-hour strategy session, which also doesn't cost anything. Then you have to decide. If you're not ready for that, why don't you come to the Tools Down workshop, to the next Tools Down workshop. You can subscribe to these emails and you can join the Tradies Business Toolshed or Facebook group where you can ask me questions and I'll respond to you online. So there you go. Trading mistake number 1. Please don't make it. Show up.